Cretaceous predators vs. elephant? Hi everyone. For this battle, we will be using an adult elephant with an average weight of 6 tons and a height of 3 meters at the shoulder. Our first Cretaceous predator is going to be one of the largest land carnivores that ever existed, Megalodon, first appearing in the late Jurassic Sea. Megalodon was an apex predator throughout the entire Cretaceous period. Megalodon had a huge head and long, slender jaws lined with conical teeth, perfect for catching and crushing prey. Its skull alone weighed more than an adult human and measured over 1.8 meters long. And there are a few fossils showing damage to its skull from fighting other dinosaurs. With all of this in mind, it's easy to see why Megalodon was at the top of the food chain. It's also possible that Megalodon could reach lengths of up to 20 meters. Although most estimates say they were closer to 13 meters long. But if we use the maximum length for our Megalodon here, then it's going to be one very dangerous opponent for our elephant. And with a weight of 19 tons, it's safe to say this is going to be one massive fight. Even though Megalodon was a skilled hunter, it wasn't invincible by any means. Even other Megalodons were a threat to its life. Their immense size meant that they needed to take down large prey like sauropods and other theropods. But this also made them more vulnerable to injury, especially to their head and neck. We have evidence of this through fossil discoveries of Megalodon skulls with puncture wounds and tooth marks, likely inflicted by other Megalodons. So if the elephant could somehow manage to get its tusks into the head or neck of the Megalodon, then it could potentially win this fight. If the elephant focuses its attacks on the head and neck, the thick skin might protect it from smaller tusks. But the larger tusks of the elephant should be able to break through. One single good hit from a tusk to the brain of the Megalodon should be enough to take it down. The problem for the elephant is getting close enough to deliver that fatal blow without being stomped on, bitten, clawed, or torn apart by the dinosaur. Megalodon was built for speed, having very long legs and a relatively lightweight body, at least compared to other theropods. Because of this, it could easily run down prey like a horse or a deer. Coat. It could also use its powerful hind legs to kick out at its opponents, which combined with its powerful jaws would be devastating at close range. These kicks could easily crush bones, even the thick leg bones of an elephant. So the elephant would need to keep its distance to avoid being kicked. Then it would need to get close enough to attack, which would put it right back in range of the kicks and bites of the Megalodon. So fighting this dinosaur would require a delicate balance between keeping out of range and striking when an opportunity presents itself. Our next Cretaceous predator is one of the most feared and iconic dinosaurs of all time, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. While many people think of the T-Rex as being slow and lumbering, recent studies suggest that it may have been much more agile than previously thought. Some scientists believe that the T-Rex could run at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour, although the elephant would definitely have the advantage in this fight. If the terrain was muddy or slippery, the T-Rex would have the advantage if the terrain was dry and flat. Like the Megalodon, the T-Rex also had powerful legs that it could use to kick its opponents. And unlike the Megalodon, the T-Rex also had extremely powerful arms. These arms were not very useful for walking, but they were great for catching and tearing apart prey. They were also very long, almost reaching the end of the dinosaur's torso, giving it a huge reach that the elephant couldn't match. The T-Rex would probably rely on its powerful jaws and teeth to do most of the work in this fight. With a bite force of over 12,000 kilograms, the T-Rex could easily crush the bones of an elephant and tear its body apart. Also, the T-Rex would be able to dodge the elephant's tusks because of its agility. And then once it got close enough, it would strike with its arms and bite the elephant as hard as it could. Once the elephant was weakened, the T-Rex would just keep biting and clawing until it took it down. I think the T-Rex would win this fight, although the elephant could cause some damage before it was taken down. Moving on, we have another fearsome carnivore from the Cretaceous period, the Giganotosaurus carolini. This dinosaur was similar in size and appearance to the T-Rex, but it lived in South America. Giganotosaurus was a true giant, measuring up to 20 meters long and weighing up to 12 tons. It was the heaviest and longest carnivore that ever lived in South America, and was only outweighed by the largest sauropods in the world. Like the T-Rex, Giganotosaurus had huge jaws and teeth for catching and tearing apart prey. It also had powerful arms and legs for catching and holding on to prey. It could also run at amazing speeds for such a large creature. Some scientists believe that it could reach speeds of up to 45 kilometers per hour. Giganotosaurus would probably try to chase down the elephant and tire it out before trying to take it down. With its incredible speed, Giganotosaurus would easily be able to keep out of range of the elephant's tusks and stomp. Then once it got close enough, it would use its huge jaws and claws to attack. I think the Giganotosaurus would be able to take down the elephant after a while. Although the elephant would probably cause quite a bit of damage before it was taken down. One of the largest flying creatures that ever existed, Quetzalcoatlus northropi. The name Quetzalcoatlus comes from the Aztec word for the feathered serpent god, and indeed, the creature is often depicted with feathers in scientific illustrations. How feathered it actually was is unknown, however, as no feather impressions have been found among the fossil remains. What is known is that it was an incredibly large and impressive flying reptile, weighing up to 500 kilograms and having a wingspan of over 12 meters. It was one of the largest flying animals that ever lived, only exceeded in size by some of the prehistoric bats. Quetzalcoatlus is believed to have fed mainly on fish, but it's possible that it would have been able to catch and eat mammals as well. In fact, paleontologists believe that it was probably capable of snatching up prey from the ground as well as in the air. It would have done this using its long neck and beak to grab fish out of the water or small animals off the ground. When hunting terrestrial prey, it probably used its size and agility to its advantage. Since it was so large, it could probably scare away or intimidate its prey, making them easier to catch. It was also agile enough to maneuver around trees and other obstacles while pursuing its prey. I think the Quetzalcoatlus would have an easy time taking down an elephant. It could simply swoop down and use its beak and claws to slice up the elephant. Then it could carry off the meat in its mouth, or wrap its wings around it and fly away. Next, we have a relative of Ankylosaurus, Boreopelta, Markmichelli. This strange-looking dinosaur was covered in large bony plates and spikes, which formed a protective shell around its body. It also had a club-like tail that it could use to defend itself against predators. But despite its bulky appearance, Boreopelta, Markmichelli, was actually a very fast runner. It could probably run at speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour, which was important for escaping from predators. While its armor would definitely protect it from the tusks of an elephant, it wouldn't offer much protection from the elephant's feet. A single stomp from an elephant's foot could probably smash through the armor and crush the dinosaur. And with its short legs, Boreopelta Markmichelli wouldn't be able to outrun an elephant either. If it tried to use its tail club to defend itself, the elephant could simply step on the dinosaur and break the tail. Boreopelta Markmichelli would probably try to use its armor to protect itself and its size to intimidate the elephant. But ultimately, I don't think it would be able to win this fight. Moving on, we have the largest animal that ever lived, the blue whale. Growing up to 30 meters long and weighing up to 200 tons, the blue whale is truly a gigantic creature. It's also the loudest animal on planet Earth, with its calls reaching over 180 decibels. That's louder than a jet engine. While the blue whale is a mammal, it lives in the ocean, so it doesn't need to worry about things like tusks and sharp teeth when fighting other animals. Instead, it uses its sheer size and strength to overpower its opponents. The blue whale has massive flippers that it can use to slap and injure its prey. It also has a powerful tail that can deliver devastating blows. It's unlikely that the elephant would be able to pierce the blubber of the blue whale with its tusks, but it could certainly cause some damage with its tusks and feet. However, the elephant would eventually get exhausted, and the blue whale would eventually win the fight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think the elephant would be able to defeat these dinosaurs? Which dinosaur do you think would stand the best chance against the elephant? We hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new.